Welcome back to Winning Law. I'm attorney David Nguyen with offices in Houston, Texas, and today we're going to talk about VAWA affidavits. At the end of this video, I'm also going to share tips from one of our recent clients that just received an approval of her VAWA petition and her green card. We have asked her to provide a perspective from the female perspective. In the future, we do plan on providing tips from a male perspective. Before we begin, let's really talk about what an affidavit is. An affidavit is just a personal statement based on first-hand knowledge. For VAWA cases, the self-affidavit is likely the most important piece of evidence that you can provide to prove your case. According to the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, affidavits must contain several things to make them effective. If you are considering writing an affidavit or have someone act as a witness for you, please make sure that their affidavit contains all of these things. First, it must have a full printed name. This means that you shouldn't just provide your first and last names, especially if you have a middle name. If you have nicknames or previously used names, you should also mention it in your affidavit. 2. The address. This means that you should provide the complete address, including the city, apartment number if you have one, state and zip code. 3. Date of birth. Remember, in the US, we format the date with the month first, followed by the day and then the year. In other countries, the format is the day first, followed by the month and the year. But just remember, VAWA petitions are handled inside the United States, so you should use the US format. 4. The place of birth. This should be self-explanatory. Number 5, relationship to the parties. If you have a witness write an affidavit for you, the witness needs to provide a detailed account of how they know you and how they know of the other person. 6. Complete details. This means that you should provide dates, locations, times, names of persons or places, and other details that would help the immigration officer make the determination that your relationship was not only real, but that you were also abused. Lastly, it should be signed under oath and notarized. In the United States, we have people called public notaries. These are individuals that have the ability to act as witnesses. Usually, public notaries charge a nominal fee to notarize documents, and they do this by signing their name below the document and placing a special stamp or seal on the document. If you have already filed your petition and you've already submitted affidavits, you should look over your affidavits or your witness affidavits to make the determination of whether or not you did it correctly. If not, you may want to speak with an experienced immigration attorney to see what you can do in order to fix this. Remember, writing an affidavit is hard. You have to recall dates, important information, and the abuses that you've gone through. However, if your affidavit is not complete, most likely it's going to get denied. Now let me share a video testimonial from one of our past clients. I've asked her to give our audience advice on the things that she did and she used in order to help her write her affidavit. Again, hopefully you found this video helpful. I'm attorney David Nguyen, this is Winning Law, and we hope that we have made immigration easier to understand.
Absolutely not. I felt just like me, I needed help. And now that I've completed the process, I am eager to help anyone just to help change their life the way my life has been changed. I went on Google and I found you on YouTube. And I listened to your videos and I felt that you were extremely knowledgeable and you would be the right person to help me with my case. I felt like they didn't have enough knowledge about my specific case, and when I went on YouTube, I felt that you had all the strong points, like every fact that I needed to help me with my case. Very knowledgeable, to put it. I had a VAWA case, which means a Violence Against Women Act, and it can be a very complicated case, and you need someone that is extremely knowledgeable about the case that will be able to help you step by step and make sure that you have all the documents that you need. No, I was not. It was waived. I would say the statement. Writing affidavit, explaining everything that happened. I think with VAWA cases, there's a lot of trauma that goes on and your brain can literally block that out as the years go by because you don't want to think about painful things. So that was one of my hardest parts, is to write what happened. It was painful. So Facebook was one of the main sources for my affidavit because there was pictures there, and pictures tell a story. And with my situation, I had wonderful pictures and memories, but it also came with a sad story either before or after that picture. Sorry. It still hurts, I'm sorry. So I had to take myself through memory lane based on pictures, and spoke a lot to my family just to help me remember certain situations where they would be present, and just kind of remind me of the events that led up to, a situation that happened in my case. So Facebook was one of the main sources, especially for dates and pictures. And then I would go through text messages, because that will also help me, because when we're having an argument, through a text, that will help me remember what the situation was, and I was able to write out the story from text messages. And then what also really helped me was therapy, because like I said, sometimes you block out certain trauma events that happen. And when I spoke to my therapist and we would start talking about events, it kind of helps you to open up, especially with certain things that happened that I was too embarrassed to tell someone else. I would speak with the therapist, and that also helped me to go down memory lane and kind of open up that blocked passage of my brain that I tried to hide and not speak about. So therapy really helped me as well. Like I said, talking to my family helped me out a lot. The challenging part would be facing the truth, facing what actually happened. That was hard. It was hard to hear back their opinion about the situation, because at the time I was so like cut out, like I wasn't really like speaking to them because of my abuse. So just to hear them speak out about it, that hurt me. It really did. I got a pushback from my mom. It was hard, because she had to herself face what happened to me, because she had witnessed some things. So I think it was really hard. But my sisters that wrote the affidavit, they were willing to help. With my mom, I had to talk with her, and as I said to her, as much as it's difficult for me to face it, you have to face it as well. So I had a bit of a pushback, but eventually she did write a statement for me. My first interaction with you would be, or my first knowledge of you would be YouTube. And just hearing your YouTube segments, I was very pleased, because you sounded like you knew what you were talking about. But then I had a call with you, and when I spoke to you, you had kind of like a calming voice, and it sounded like you were really like understanding. And I really liked that. So that was my first impression of you, really. And when I got together with your team, everyone was very helpful and very knowledgeable. I put studying on hold because I really want to complete my studies. So that was on the back burner. I felt like I couldn't apply for certain jobs, like government jobs or things like that, because that was put on the back burner as well. I used to be a flight attendant, so that was something that I wanted to do. I was very excited about, but I knew I could not do that without a green card. So those are the things that I had in the back of my mind, and knowing that I couldn't do it without a green card. Future plans is to get a degree. That is something that has really been on my bucket list for years now. And I know with the green card, I'll be able to do that with in-state tuition. And definitely career-wise, I'd love to get into Delta or one of those companies that I can really just learn and grow. And I know a green card will allow me to achieve those goals. Okay, first thing I would want to say is be honest. It's hard because you have to face some things that you haven't even said out loud, So that would be my first advice. Just be as honest as you can, even if you told no one. Pin it down. It can be painful because it was a painful journey for me. I cried a lot writing out my affidavit. Just be honest, and it will take you very far.
At David Nguyen's law office, we are here to help you. We bring families together through immigration. And on the other hand, we help you find solutions. All your legal needs in the hands of people who care, who are there for you. We'll take care of your loved ones at the law office of David Nguyen.